Hello everyone, this is Taylor, and this is a Twitter Topics video wherein I will answer your questions and address your topics, and if you want to get involved in these, I'm going to link my Twitter in the description, so check that out. If you don't want to get involved and you're completely content sitting there watching, maybe having a bag of chips and a soda with your left hand on your cheek and just watching without contributing, that's totally fine. I don't mind. I know a lot of people really hate Twitter adamantly. I really don't get that, though. It seems like the website that everybody should hate more is Facebook, just because it's irritating and it's just a huge, just essentially communal bath of narcissism and imagining that people can conceivably care about the menial aspects of your life. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the topics and the questions. And if you guys enjoy these, please leave a rating. It really does help more than you know. All right. Talk about slow walkers and how they annoy the tits out of everyone. And that is from the one and only. And I've never had my tits annoyed out of me, so to speak. I'm not really sure about how that happens, but I can talk about slow walkers. And on a college campus, I have quite a bit of experience with slow walkers. It's not like passing someone on the highway, where if you pass someone on the highway because they're going slow, there's like a 2-second exchange where they may look over and see you, and you'll look over and see them through the windows, and it's kind of mutually understood that the person who's passing is passing passive judgment on the person who is being slow and being a cock douche, and you just kind of do that, and it takes like 2 seconds, and it's a little bit awkward, but it's not that bad. Now, when you're passing someone who's a slow walker, you're not going like 80 miles an hour on the freeway. It takes like 15 seconds to really pass someone up all the way, and that whole time as you're passing them up, the person clearly knows, they're like, oh yeah, this guy thinks that I'm walking too slow, so he's just going to pass me up, and you think to yourself, and she knows that you're thinking, yeah, this bitch is walking way too slow, and she's being annoying as shit. She needs to speed up because this is not your personal little lane for you to just goof around in as you text and walk aimlessly about. That's how I feel. So really, I wish that there was kind of like a socially accepted practice where you could pick up pine cones or maybe even a small stone and just hurl it at the back of someone's head. Not that hard, just hard enough to draw a little bit of blood, just to bring it to their attention that, you're not the only person walking in this world, so how about you look up from your goddamn phone and pay a little bit of attention, you narcissistic douche. I hate that when people just spend their entire time walking looking at their phone. I don't know why. It irritates me because it doesn't really impact me directly. It's just one of those things that I just don't like it, especially when it's someone who you can tell that they're not even texting, they're just aimlessly browsing their phone. Like, what is the point? Why? Like, if you have an objective, something to look at, then yeah, maybe if you're looking for directions, you can walk slowly. But if you're just looking up pictures of friggin' cats while walking to class and you're walking slow, I'm going to hit you right in the back of the head with a stone so hard, you're going to wish you didn't come to college that day. You're going to be laying there bleeding on the pavement, So I guess that's a reasonable way to solve slow walkers, full-on assault with stones, but to each their own, really. Who am I to pass judgment? Next person. Joshua Go. How are you so eloquent at speaking while I am so retendously bad at it? Retendous is a word that I made up, and I mentioned it in the video a long time ago, and it just means terrible or ridiculous or outlandish. It can mean whatever you want. It's just a word that I make up as a joke, and if you feel like someone's being a pseudo-intellectual douche, you can throw a made-up word in there and see if they reciprocate it, and then pretend as though they thought it was a real word. It's just kind of a fun little trick to play on people. Very rarely do people actually bite on it, but every once in a while someone will, I guess, subconsciously remember the word retendous, the context clues that I used it in, and then regurgitate it in a later juncture and look like a complete fool. And hey, when that happens, even if I'm not there to experience it, I almost get like a Sith-like surge of power, just like Yoda. Yoda wasn't a Sith, though. He was a good guy. Yoda, he could tell when all those people died. I can tell when someone uses that word incorrectly, and I'm like, oh, I love it. Take pride. Anyway. Doesn't really make sense. As far as me being eloquent at speaking, I thank you for that compliment, but I would beg to differ. I am fully able to admit I'm not going to be falsely humble. I am pretty good at speaking. It's one of the things that I excel at most, and I really do enjoy it. I feel as though most people don't really understand the full potential of how much power words have when you have the ability to articulate yourself really cogently and soundly. And as everyone noticed, every time I say the word cogent, they say that's the word of the day, but it's a great word! Anyway, so I thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I'd have to attribute most of it to reading. I really love reading. It's a fun time. And probably watching speakers and debates. When I play Call of Duty, a lot of people think that I just sit and listen to music or whatnot, or I talk on my headset. That's really rare. I really don't do that. Usually I'll sit back, put on a debate, or put on a speaker, or just play COD and listen to that. I really enjoy that a lot more than music, because I like feeling as though I'm kind of involved in something aside from just the zombies, since zombies really doesn't take any thought to play. It's a fun way to just kind of loosen up and have fun, and it's really easy to multitask on different things. So honestly, I'd attribute a lot of it to that, is just taking the time to watch other speakers and try and emulate their style. My number one hero in that regard would be Christopher Hitchens, or the late Christopher Hitchens. He can articulate, or rather he could articulate himself like no one else I'd ever heard, and that really inspired me to try and step up my own game. And by no means am I comparing myself to him. That would be remarkably arrogant on my part. So either way, thank you for the compliment. It does mean a lot. All right, next person, Mr. Razorix. Please give me your opinion on bears. Myself and Eat My Diction would love to know. All right, well, bears, I guess it depends on the kind of bear, you know? I have nothing against black bears. I'm not a racist. I'm perfectly fine. And with brown bears, the tint of your skin I have no problem with. I am a complete egalitarian in regard to bear rights. Even the Asian bears, you know? All of them, they each have their own skills, be it math or basketball or, answering the phones when their jobs get outsourced. You know, that's just all things that all those different races of bears have to do. And so I applaud them. You know, each and every race of bear has their ups and downs. So good for you, bears. No, but seriously, they're mindless killing machines, and they should be eradicated. I would be 100% in favor of voting for any presidential candidate who endorsed the full eradication of bears, full-on genocide, you know? Sue me if you think that's extreme, but you tell me what's extreme when you open your door one night and there's a grizzly bear standing there with a 9mm pointing at your head. Tell me what you're going to think then, huh? What are you going to think? You're going to wish that we didn't kill all the bears? They're dangerous killing machines. They're murderers. Anyway, that's all there is to say about it. You have to take that side, all right? Anyway, next one. Why are teachers so strict about talking in class? Neither the student nor the teacher wants to be there. Why are they so strict? Honestly, and that's from Unknown Gamers, teachers are strict because they don't want to be there. I mean, that's true. A lot of teachers, you can tell, have a lot of fun teaching, but the vast majority, from my experience, really exude this aura of they are dealing with you like children, not talking to you like adults and trying to convey information. So that is irritating. I really don't like that. But the reason they're strict in class is because they need you to shut the hell up so they can talk. And as far as students not wanting to be in class, I'll fully admit that the vast majority of courses I've taken in college I have not enjoyed. I felt that most of them, the content that was given to me over the course of a whole semester could have been better relegated to like 2 months. Like, it's just not that difficult. But there are some classes that I really, really enjoy, and so I'm glad to be there. So I don't really know. I'd caution you, Nick and Eric, or Unknown Gamers, to not be too adamant about always, hating school because you think that's cool. Give it a shot. If you take a course that sounds like it has an interesting name, don't just go into it anticipating that it's going to be a boring sack of garbage. Just go in there and actually try and learn. And if you actually do develop an interest in the subject, then suddenly it's not as though you're consciously trying to drill information into your head. It's just that you're naturally assimilating these interesting facts into your, database of knowledge, so to speak. Anyway. Next one. Would you rather be forced to swim in an Olympic-sized pool with thick tomato puree or be forced to drown in chocolate? Either way, you die. Oh, of a high caliber. All right, well, usually these ones aren't would you rathers, but I'll answer this as the last one. All right, so I can either die by drowning in thick tomato puree, and let it be known that thick is completely capitalized, so this must be some really thick puree for him to put that much emphasis. And chocolate. And, really, man, either way I die, I don't even get a chance, I have to die either way, then I don't really care. Actually, screw that, I totally do care. Think about how gross you would be if you drown in tomato sauce. I feel like your whole body and all your orifices would just be full of pasty, thick tomato goop and just dried all over you, and you just look gross. They'd fish you out of the bottom of the tomato puree bin, and you just look like a disgusting animal, just gross. Whereas with chocolate, even if I die, as you've already said, I do have to die, I'll concede that, at least I come out of it looking sweet and tasty, and that's what it's about. If I can't die as an old man who's succeeded in a lot of aspects of life and left a long and happy legacy, then god damn it, I'm gonna die sweet and tasty. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now. If you guys enjoyed this, please leave a rating, and I love you.